This is day one of my vlog of Beauty for Ashes. I'm making this vlog because I'm starting a fresh journey, a journey of trading in my ashes for beauty. The scriptures that I'm coming from are Isaiah 61:3, and I'll probably be reading some that are before that. But this vlog is just my testimony of my journey. But if it can help others, then it has done what it's supposed to. Right now, I'm at a point where I am acknowledging the problem. The problem is that I'm just getting out of a marriage, and I believe that during the marriage, I lost a part of myself. As you can see, most people who know me as Nikki Vontae know that this is not what I look like. This is not what I sound like. I'm usually a little bit more happy, a little bit more exuberant. I'm definitely more put together than this, what I look like now. So I'm acknowledging the problem. I will not speak about the problem probably ever again on this vlog, because the journey is not the problem. The journey is where you're coming from. In the marriage, I'm going to be honest, my husband put me out. Okay. Best thing for me, no. Do I feel some type of way? Yes. But is that what the issue is? No. The issue is, now that the marriage is over, where do I go? I've spoken to a lot of women, and you know, they say, well, I'm too old to start over. I'm too old. I've given him all my years. But what I tell people is, right now, I'm too old to be cheated on. I'm too old to be lied to. I'm too old to be spoken to any type of way. So right now, this journey is me being too old. I'm too old to not love myself enough to move on. I've been told that they don't no longer want to be with me, and that's fine. Okay, so now what do? That's where I'm at. I'm working on the problem, okay? And the problem is that Nikki needs to get back to where Nikki was and go beyond. So Nikki can no longer lack confidence. Nikki can no longer look this way. Nikki can no longer function the way she's functioning. Nikki has to pull herself out of the ashes and with God go into the beauty, because Nikki's not too old to look her best, to feel her best, to be loved, to love herself enough to know that this is what needs to happen. So this is my first day on the vlog. The first day is admitting you have a problem. And I'm admitting that I have a problem. I admit that I have a problem that I'm looking the way I look. I admit that I'm having the problem that I've just been kind of dragging around. So now it's time to move forward. So as I move forward on this vlog, I'm going to be candid. I'm going to share. I'm going to tell people what I'm doing. And if this testimony helps somebody else, then God bless it. But it's going to help me, because it's time for me to transform. And I'm going to be very honest. Right now, I need a whole physical, mental, spiritual transformation to get to where I know I need to be. So I'm going to be as candid as I can, and eventually I'm going to stand up and show you where I am physically, and I've already told you where I kind of am mentally and emotionally. And from there, we're going to just keep on this journey. But this is just day one. And if you're following this and you've decided that you have a problem and it's time that you're tired of this problem, give yourself permission to acknowledge the problem and to move forward with the change. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the hard part is keeping going with it, to keep on with it. That's the hard part. Today, one of my friends gave me this card. It's a record player. And what the record player symbolizes, that we will not keep doing the same things over and over again. We will not keep replaying the same negative images, the same negative thoughts, the same negative words. We won't keep replaying them ever again. And as we move forward, we'll learn how hard that is, but how freeing it is to not replay the negative scripts anymore in our head, in our minds, in our bodies. It's time to forgive ourselves. It's time to move forward and forgive ourselves. So accepting the problem is the first process to that. And I'm allowing myself to forgive myself. I'm allowing myself to move on. And I'm allowing myself to be free. so God can give me the beauty for the ashes. And really quickly, I'm just going to read the scripture. It is, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness and planting of the Lord, for the display of his splendor. So by the end of this journey, I plan to be crowned with beauty for ashes. I plan to have the oil of joy instead of mourning. I feel like I'm going to have the garment of praise. And this is just the first step of the journey. It's just my first day. And I'm going to hold myself accountable. When I get on here, I'm going to have a calendar